Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Leadership Talk for Virtual Science Fair 2021. I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Associate Professor Dr. Liza binti Wan Mahadi. She is an Associate Professor in Department of Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Malaya. Associate Professor Dr. Wan is also a Certified Executive Coach and a former Head of Unit for Coaching and Mentoring in University of Malaya. Thank you for taking your time to join us today, Doctor, and I hope you are doing well in this current pandemic. Well, my name is Amira Arianti, and I will be the MC and moderator for today. On behalf of the organizer, it is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the VSF Talk on how to pursue your career during a pandemic. Well, as all of us know, we are right in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic has affected billions of people all over the world, regardless of age and classes. Not only that, it has also caused a direct impact in economy and also job opportunities. This matter has actually raised a concern to future graduates. For this time around, it is quite different because they need to sharpen and prepare more soft skills in order to adapt and assimilate with the current changes. So for my first question to Associate Professor Dr. Wan is, what are the essential skills for character and also professional development, especially to those who are graduating in this time of pandemic?
Okay, thank you, Amira. All right, and I would like to give my salam. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, and a very good morning to our participants, audience. And Amira already introduced me. I'm Liza from the Department of Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering. Okay, your question is actually a very important question that all of us have to look, especially when you want to develop your career or you want to develop your character in order for you to pursue the career that you want, your purpose. So actually the question will be just bigger than just what we call it, what kind of career do I want, etc. First of all, perhaps we have to identify how we would like to grow. Okay, and I believe most of our participants today, they are students, either high school students, pre-U students, or students in their degree years, or perhaps I don't know, some postgraduate students who are looking forward actually to resume or to move on to their professional career. All right. So the first question that perhaps you ask yourself would be, how would I like to grow? Okay, how would I like to grow? And try to stay focused on your goal. All right. Okay, asking this kind of question, actually, when you are considering in your personal and professional development, you ask yourself your desire and willingness to change. That's one thing. Another thing is your level of excitement about your future. And what kind of a commitment and physical action that you want to put into making these changes. Are you committed? What kind of action? You think about it, but what kind of action that you want to put to make these changes, okay, into making these changes. So what do you need to make you grow and to go into your career? Number one, very importantly, is your purpose. You have to have a purpose. Okay, meaning a person's sense of resolve and determination. And of course, self-awareness. Am I aware of for example, my thought process? Am I aware of my strength? Am I aware of my own abilities? Or am I aware of the areas, I won't call it weaknesses, I would call it the area that I want to develop further. Am I aware? So that one is very important because we have to start somewhere. We have to know what we are good at. We have to know what we often think all the time. All right. We have to know what are my niche area. What are something that, for example, your strength will be something that You put least effort, but you can do it naturally, so easily, and you are happy to do it. All right. Another one is self-belief. Okay. How well do you believe in yourself? This one can be developed, to have self-belief. And of course, it is self-confidence. How confident am I to talk about things? How confident am I to communicate to others? How confident am I to present my ideas? How confident am I to ask for a job, for example? Okay, how confident am I to tell them that, hang on, this is my good traits. I can help your company a lot. I can help your organization a lot. And of course, very importantly is effective communications. How well do we communicate? Do we communicate it clearly? What type of communicator are we? All right. Actually, we want to go into effective communication. It's going to be another sessions, All right. And of course, leadership. Leadership. Each one of us, I would say, leader in our own right. You do not need a title to become a leader. So what are leadership essential skills? There would be responsibility, self-belief, confidence, responsibility, accountability, and of course, ownership. When you do something, make sure you own it. And self-management, okay, time-sensitive self-management, and of course, how do you negotiate? How do you persuade? And very importantly is grit and resilience. Okay, when we fail on something, how do we pick up ourselves? How do we sustain it? How resilient are we? All right. Okay, I think that's all. There are a lot more, but those are, to me, are the essential skills. So most importantly, for us to be aware of ourselves, thought process, our actions, our reaction to things, and from there we can devise a plan to develop ourselves. And I always believe that what we call it, character development and professional development will go hand in hand. All right, Amira, I hope that one is sufficient enough.
Yes, I see
All right.
that. Actually, the most important thing is actually we identify how we would like to grow, our
Yes.
purpose, awareness, and then
Yes.
also self-belief and self-confidence, and also resilience and leadership in ourselves.
Yes. Exactly. Nicely put.
I agree with you, Associate Professor Dr. Wine. I believe that everyone actually have their own strength, their inner strength. But the
Yes.
question is either they acknowledge their strength or not.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
So,
And we
for,
have to
mhm,
we have to clarify our goals. What do we
mhm,
want?
mhm.
Make it
So,
clear.
from your point of view, how can we actually realize and leverage our strength to suit the current scenario, which is pandemic, so that it will be beneficial in finding our future career?
Okay. Good question.
Mhm.
How do we realize, first of all, how do we realize our strength? Sometimes people outside will know your strength, but you yourself, perhaps I'm not sure whether I'm good enough or not. Yes,
True.
that one also will go with self-confidence as well. And you can ask yourself, actually, what am I good at? If you are in the university during your undergrad years, what are you normally being praised about? Your colleagues, your friends say, oh, Amira, I think you are good at writing. Can you help us? Something like that. That means that is your strength, Amira. Or if you are good at organizing things, all right? People might just say, okay, Amira, can you organize this? I think you are a better person to do it. So, that is your strength already. And you ask yourself, what am I good at? And you ask yourself as well, which activities that require less effort, that comes naturally to you? And what have I been recognized for in my career or in my life? All right. And this one as well ties very closely to passion. What are you passionate about? What made you happy? What do I enjoy? Ask yourself. What do I look forward to doing? What energizes me? What made me happy? What something that I do that I didn't realize that, for example, I already spent about 5 hours doing it. Suddenly I feel tired, I will just retire. Oh, time passed so quickly, because those are the things actually. You are dealing with your passion, you are dealing with your niche area and your abilities, your what we call it a natural born abilities. However, these abilities can be groomed, can be developed if you want to. So, how do you leverage your strength? All right, you leverage your strength. Quite importantly, career matching. Find a job that you feel that suitable to your strength. However, adaptability is very important as well, because time, as it is now, everything is so integrated, isn't it? Even if you are graduated from, for example, engineering faculty, you can work in any other company or any other organization that is not engineering company or not in engineering field. However, perhaps can make use of your engineering skills, such as critical thinking, analysis skills. Um, you are normally an engineering student. They are a doer. They do things. Okay, you fabricate things. You do things. So adaptability is very, very important. And also the mindset, our worldview must be wide enough. We'll have a wide worldview, a good mindset, good communications. Make sure you communicate it clearly. Okay, effective communication, good listening skills, a good questioning skills as well as your willingness attitude. Develop into a nice person, in other words. You are willing to help, you are willing to adapt, and having the attitude of non-judgmental. You don't judge people. Non-judgmental, you take things as it is. So that one is what important in the teamwork actually, and leadership. Yes.
Thank you, Associate Prof. So actually, the key to unlock our strength is we can actually see it from different perspectives, like what are our achievements, what can we
Yes.
be recognized for. But
Yes.
the most important thing is our passion and what we love and what we want to actually achieve in future.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Well, when we are also talking about strength, it also reflects how we handle ourselves and what are our strategies in achieving our goals. But in terms of career opportunities, it is better to gear ourselves up to suit the current changes.
Yes.
So, in your opinion, should we give emphasis on soft skills or work efficiency to prepare ourselves in finding a career during this pandemic era?
Yes, I think that one is very, very important, the soft skills, because the designated skills, or the skills that we've been groomed either in medical field, in science field, engineering, architecture, etc. Those are the skills that we've been groomed. So what gel that skills to the real work life scenario will be your soft skills. So soft skills entails all the above that the one that we have talked previously, especially your adaptability. Okay, and soft skills such as building rapport to me is very, very important. How well do you connect to another person? How well do you network? Building rapport and your presence. Your presence meaning, for example, if your designated skills you are very good, um, you embody those skills. Your presence will be you are there, mind, body, and soul. You are, all of you will be there. That means your presence, like for example, you are giving a presentation in your project, for example, you are there, you have your skills, designated skills, you have a good communication skills. Okay, and the communication skills, not just the verbal communications, is your body language, your eye contact, your tone of voice, how you relate to your audience, how you relate to others. Those are as well the communication skills. And your mutual respect as well is very, very important to me. Mutual respect and trust, and these are key things that that actually a good platform at the workplace or career-wise. These are the good key factors. Yeah. What we call it, you know how to network, building rapport, your presence, your mutual respect, trust, effective communications, and what we call it, a good listening skills. You know how to question well without being rude. Yes, okay, and having all this, actually it will go back to what we have discussed earlier, self-awareness. How well do you know yourself? If, for example, I feel that I do not communicate well, then I have to learn to communicate well. What kind of a communicator am I? Am I an assertive communicator? Am I the passive one? Am I very aggressive? If I'm aggressive, for example, no, I have to correct myself. You know what I mean? There are better ways for me to communicate. So it will boils down to self-awareness again. So having said that, answering your question, soft skills to me is very, very important. Okay, to have in order for us to move forward or move further in our chosen career.
I see. So soft skills is actually on top of everything
Yes,
because we learn how to connect with other people, but at the
yes,
same time, also how our body language, eye contact, and also mutual
yes,
respect with other people also.
yes,
And I also learned that we have to learn our communication skill, how to approach other
yes,
people, and also with ourselves.
yes,
Yes, it is indeed true. And I also think that we need to prepare in order to suit ourselves with the new phase of life. And as you said earlier, that we need to develop soft skills and also practical skills to conquer and give the best version of ourselves.
yes.
Nevertheless, there are still some students who feel it difficult for them to stand out and give their own ideas. So,
Mhm.
from your side, or maybe from your experience, how can they overcome this and start to step forward bravely in front of others?
Okay, very good question there. All right, that will relates to self-belief and self-confidence. Yes, how confident are you, and how do you believe in your own abilities and your self-confidence? And to me, if that is the situations, yeah, um, important thing, you have to practice your self-awareness first, meaning that you learn to monitor your feelings. Sometimes you feel, oh, I'm a little bit nervous to stand there. That is your thought process. How do you turn that thought process from I am nervous to yes, I can go and stand there and give my presentation? All right, so that's why to me it is very, very important for the student to surround themselves with what we call it, with a, I would call it a positive or emotionally agile people. All right, to help them to come up from that what we call it, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm scared to stand, people might criticize me, you know. So okay, number one is we will go back to the self-awareness earlier on. Look at oneself objectively. What am I good at? What are my thoughts, process, what I'm always thinking? And do your self-reflection. And listen and monitor our inner dialogues. And identify our values. Okay, once you have what we call it, identify all those things, practice is very important. Okay, practice in front of perhaps your friend. If you do not have any friend, in front of your family members. If you do not have, practice in front of the mirror. Talk, talk and practice. And as well as journaling is very important. Write down what you feel, write down your feelings, write down your plan, etc. And okay, so in order to increase your self-confidence, importantly is your skills as well. If you have to give the presentation, make sure you know your work well. Prepare, understand, study. Okay, and once you know your work well, the next thing is how do you put yourself, how do you put yourself in presenting your work? How well do you want? How do you want to grow? How well do you want to give that presentation? That is where the soft skills come in. Number one, you have to know your skills, designated skills, whatever you are presenting. Number two is how you use your soft skills in order for you to what we call it, put or deliver your ideas across. All right.
I see. Actually, we have to take one step forward in order to overcome our nervousness, in order to overcome our
Yes.
anxiousness, and just be confident and believe in yourself, and you eventually can do it.
Yes.
On top of that, I think that future graduates are also affected mentally. During this
Yes.
pandemic, it is quite difficult for them to find a suitable placement during the internship. And with a
Okay.
decrease of job opportunities, it is actually harder to find a stable job once they graduated. Most
Yes.
of them suppress their feeling of disappointments, and it leads to many unfavorable consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Associate Professor Dr. Wan, from your personal perspective, how should we constructively channel these negative emotions and deal with it in a healthy way?
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know we have gone through this pandemic for about a year now, and some of us are going through many emotional roller coaster, I call it.
True.
Some of students have feel that they don't know what to do. They feel down, they feel depressed, don't know
Mhm.
where to reach. You feel that you've been thrown in the middle of the ocean,
Mhm.
that you have to struggle to swim, isn't it?
True.
So the question will be, do you want to swim or do you want to sink?
True.
Yes. So we want to swim. All
Mhm.
right. We want to swim. So, meaning that, having said that, how do we channel these negative emotions, and so that we can, what we call it, functioning again, either as a student or you are a young professional as well. Okay. And again, be mindful of your thought process. Again, be mindful of what you are thinking. All right. This is where we need our what we call it, keep tab on our emotions. How do I feel? Okay, and reach out to your friend, reach out to your family member, say out loud. If you are, when we are talking about, if you are sad, uh, uh, tell yourself, yes, I am sad now, I am depressed, I am angry, I feel so tired. First of all, we have to accept it, address it, and accept it. Address, accept, then we create a plan on how to move forward. Okay, for students, for high schoolers, even for young professionals, okay, find a mentor, a teacher, or your lecturer, or even your manager, somebody that you can trust. Talk to the person. Talk about your innermost feelings, provided somebody that you can trust. Yeah. Okay. Talk about your innermost feelings. Address what you are feeling, and devise a plan together with your lecturer or your mentor. Devise a plan on how you want to move forward. All right. And I know it is a struggle now during this pandemic time. All right. And when we are talking about the negative emotions, it relates to our emotional agility, actually. Yes, our emotional intelligence, our emotional agility. We know that emotional intelligence is defined as being aware and control of our own emotions. Okay, and however, emotional agility is how do we approach our inner experience mindfully and productively. Okay, mindful, we are mindful of our inner feeling, inner experience, and turn it into what we call it, mindfully and productively. So we are in touch with our feelings and how we can turn it into in a good way. How we can turn those things in a good way. It is normal, I think, for when you receive what we call it, when you experience failure. you feel down a little bit, but don't stay too long. Failure is not everything. Okay, you have to learn to pick up yourself again and move on. So how it will say again, yeah. When you ask me that question, we will relate to, we have the stimulus and response. Stimulus is something that trigger now is this pandemic. And how do we respond to it? We have that space, between the trigger and the response. This pandemic, I feel down, I cannot see my lecturer, I cannot go out, I cannot go and borrow books from the library, I cannot go out, I cannot socialize. I feel so lonely and I feel so sad. Okay? So how do we respond to it? You can always contact your lecturer. I have my students contacting me. We are doing our virtual meeting. Okay, and how do you respond to it? Okay, I am sad. How do you respond to it? Go and pick up some sports. Go for a brisk walk outside. Contact a friend. Talk to your friend. Have your social circle as well. Have your networking circle as well. So the key point here is, how do we respond to it? How do you manage your response? If the person can address, how do I respond to it? You can plan your response to it. Okay.
Thank you, Associate Prof. Dr. Wan. Okay, actually, the point that Dr. Wan is actually trying to portray is, if you're feeling stressed, don't keep it to yourself. Be
Yes.
mindful of what you're thinking, and then keep track of your emotions, and always reach out for your family or friend if you have any problem.
Yes.
In addition to that, we are well aware that leadership is one of the most important aspects in pursuing and sustaining a career. And from
Yes.
what we discussed earlier, emotions
Yes.
also play an important role in our life.
Yes.
Associate Professor Dr. Wan, from your view, does emotional agility is interconnected with the aspect of leadership?
Oh yes, of course. That is one of the important aspects on leadership, because as we have discussed earlier, we have the trigger when it comes to emotional agility, and we have our response. That lies your emotional agility. When you have the stimulus, how do you respond to it? The space between the stimulus and the response. So I would say yes, emotional agility can have a profound impact on how leaders perform and how they treat others in the workplace or in any organization. Okay, because emotional agility actually requires us to be in touch or in tune with our own emotions, and you don't have to suppress it. If you are not happy, say you're not happy. If you are, as a leader, for example, you are not happy with the performance of your subordinates, or even leadership as well entails something as smaller as you are in the classroom, you are doing your assignment, there is a group, and one of you is handling, or one of you as a team leader, and one of the participant is not doing his bit or her bit, for example. How do you handle that? That is your leadership skills, on the smaller scale. Okay, don't suppress your disappointment. Address it. For example, okay, Amira, it seems that you have not done your bit in here. How are you proposed to complete this within the next 3 hours? That requires emotional agility rather than, Amira, I'm very angry with you. You understand the way
True.
that is the communication skills. How do we address that, what we call it, a space between a stimulus. A stimulus here is Amira is not finishing her part, and my response as a leader, for example, my response is, how do I respond to that? I could be, Amira, I'm very angry with you, I don't want to talk to you for 2 days, for example. But that will not complete that assignment, isn't it?
True.
Okay, and if I respond it the other way around, for example, okay, Amira, seems that I don't know what is your problem, but it seems that you are unable to complete this, and it will affect the rest of us in this group. Okay, what is your situation? Address it. Can you do it for the next 2 hours? If you need our help, we will help you. So Amira can finish that in 2 hours, and the result will be everybody will be happy. That is the leadership skills there as well, yeah. So I would say that this emotional agility as well, it can be defined as the ability to be with your emotions with curiosity, compassion, and especially the courage to take values connected steps. Values connected step, so that you can get the results that you want. So we know that so many of us are disconnected with our from what we are feeling. Sometimes we do not want to address it. No, I'm feeling sad. It's okay, address it. You're feeling sad. I'm feeling tired. Yes, I'm feeling so overwhelmed with all the online assignment where my connectivity, my internet is not good. Reach out to your teacher, reach out to your lecturer, tell them, what can I do? For example, my internet is very poor in my kampong, for example. I often got disconnected. What can I do? Get in touch, okay? Highlight it, identify your feelings, express it. That is very, very important, yeah? So when we are disconnected from what we are feeling, instead acting on them with lots of negative reactions. Don't do that. Express your feelings. So some of us say, oh, I'm feeling negative, I'm feeling positive. It's okay. Some of us, sometimes we have to go through some negative feelings as well, but how we address it is very, very important. So to be able to connect with our emotions and to be honest that we are acting on it instead of being aware of it requires self-awareness, as we have mentioned earlier. So if we can connect, if we cannot connect with ourselves, okay, okay, so how do we step up to lead around us, to lead people around us? So number one, we have to be connected to ourselves first, then we can be connected to people. So yes, answering your question, emotional agility indeed is very, very important in leadership characteristics or a character of a leader. Very, very important.
Indeed, the both aspects are interconnected. And I believe
Yes.
to pursue a career, we must balance these two aspects so that it can be an anchor for us in facing all the challenges along the way.
Yes.
Yes, I think most of us know that finding a career during this pandemic is not easy. However,
Yes.
we might not be equipped with the type of challenge that we may face in future. Associate Professor Dr. Wan, can you share with us what are the possible challenges that we may face and how can we tackle the challenge in the best way in order to grant us a place in our future career?
Okay. Finding a job during this pandemic. Yeah, finding a career during this pandemic. All right. So we know that currently everything is almost online. Almost everything is online. All right. So how do you make yourself visible? That will be the question. Yeah. How do you make yourself visible? How do you make yourself attractive for the employer? All right. So number one, we all have our CV and our resumes. All right. Make your resumes findable. Make your CV findable on online platforms such as LinkedIn, and there are other platforms. Yeah, I think young people should know better. The job seekers should know better. Apart from LinkedIn, I think you have a few other platforms. So make sure your resumes or your CV is visible and findable on those platforms. All right. And just one thing. Another thing, groom your CV. Groom your CV, not to just highlight your designated skills such as engineers, architect, etc. Also to highlight your other strengths, especially your soft skills. For example, I'm a good communicator. I'm a good negotiator. I have led many, many events. I have led many, many organizations during my student years, and list down all those things. Those are good traits that they want to see. Another thing is networking is very, very important. Okay, you can attend a virtual networking events. This is perhaps part of it as well. Okay, like science fair, a virtual science fair event. And this is networking is one of the way to bring yourself to market, not just a normal online what we call it job application. Get connected with your mentors, get connected with your sponsors, get connected with perhaps what we call it ambassadors or any other key people who actually can open the door, a bigger door for you that perhaps on our own we can't open. And okay, how do you make your CV or resumes visible is identify your designated skills and your soft skills, and you can strengthen during this time. Use this pandemic time to strengthen your skills or learn the new one. For example, you want to have you are eyeing on one of the career or the job that perhaps require extra language abilities. Use this to learn the new ones. All right, and your designated skills when you have graduated, meaning you are good enough, you can perform well in your own skills. Other skills, communications, empathy, critical thinking, problem solving, adaptability, social and interpersonal skills, those can be groomed as well. So the platform now is the online platform currently. Okay, make your CV visible, make yourself visible. Okay, network with others, attend many events if possible. All right, and take control of your self-development as well. You can read books, podcasts, online courses nowadays, career coaching, and many other more. Those are the, to me, those are the proactive steps that you can take for time being.
I see.
Okay.
So we have to actually get connected with many people.
Yes, and
And
start
from what
taking empowered. Sorry, start taking empowered actions as
mm,
well.
I
Carry on,
see.
carry on.
Thank you, Associate Prof. And what you mentioned earlier that co-curriculum is very important too. So my question now is, even though we are currently doing many virtual events and there's many virtual events out there, do you think that joining many virtual events can actually help ourselves in finding our future career?
Yes, indeed. But again, you have to know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perhaps there are about 20 available virtual events. Okay, you focus on what you want to develop. Actually, how do you want to grow? It will go back to our very first conversation earlier. How do I want to grow? In what way do I want to grow? So select what you want to develop. Perhaps out of 20 virtual events, 5 relates to soft skills or communications. Then if that is the area that you want to develop, join those virtual events. So it will boil down to, what do I want? Do I know my goals? What do I want to develop? And where am I now? What is the current reality? Where am I now? Okay, I'm very good already in communication, so no need, I want to develop other areas. For example, this is the skills that I want to develop further. So find those what we call it courses, events, etc. So first we have to know what we want, what is my goal, what do I want, and check our current reality. Where am I now? Okay, at what platform am I now? And start exploring options. Okay, what options do I have? Okay, I can attend this event, I can read this book, I can get in touch with my mentors, I can start networking with my other subordinates or other friends, and think about your way forward. Start taking empowered actions. My way forward, what do I want to do? Okay, I'm going to spend the next, for example, 2 weeks. okay, attending this conference, this virtual event. Then I need to prepare my CV. Then I need to make sure my CV is visible or findable online. And I need to approach my mentors to ask for the opportunities. I need to approach my lecturer. Is there opportunity at the university that can use my abilities? Okay, those are, to me, they are empowered actions, proactive actions, and move on. Even sometimes, Amira, you can take temporary job. Even though your job, the temporary work or temporary job career, even though it does not match 100%, perhaps during that 2 months or 3 months or even 6 months, it will help you to nurture certain areas, such as communication skills, networking, how do you handle pressure, how do you prepare reports, how do you do your presentation, or how do you fabricate, how do you relate to public, all those things. Do not deny yourself of any opportunities.
I see. So we have to actually start taking empowered action. If there's any chance to develop ourselves, we should take that opportunity.
Yes, indeed.
Aside from that, Associate Professor Dr. Wan, many of the future graduates are wondering when and how can they kickstart and involve themselves into the career opportunities that might be provided during these difficult times. So for my next question, what are the approaches and key steps that the future graduates can take and start now?
Okay. All right. The first thing, I think, develop your character competencies. For example, there are 1,000 science graduates. What different? And then there is 100 job opportunities. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So those 1,000 has the basic skills needed, or basic what we call it, qualification required for the job. All right. What differentiate those 100 that might get the job from those 1,000 is your character competencies. So develop on your character competencies, such as self-awareness, confidence, responsibility. You are responsible, you are accountable, and sense of ownership, meaning leadership skills, in yourself. And build rapport. Okay, know how to connect to other people, your presence, and again your the way you deal with others with mutual respect and trust. And highlight and identify your strength. That will make you what we call it different than the rest. Identify your strengths, your skills, your niche area, and your passion. Okay, what are you passionate about? And develop the mindset for opportunities. Okay, meaning non-judgmental. You must be emotionally agile. Okay, you don't take criticism in a bad way. All right, always proactive, and you must be emotionally agile and robust. Okay, even if people critique you, it's okay. You can answer in a good way. You don't get angry and so on, and learn to explore options, other options as well. And of course, networking is very, very important. How well do you network, and how well do you communicate to them? How do you present yourself when you are called for interview? And one of the things during the interview, because I think most of the interview now is conducted online, you can practice mock interview with your friend. Okay, to make sure everything is okay, to make sure your camera is okay, you can be heard on the other side. Okay, and you can practice answering question as well, interview question, in what we call it, emphasizing your skills. For example, this is how you practice your self-confidence. Tell others about what you are good at. Like, for example, if Amira is going for interview, I might ask, okay, Amira, tell me your good points. Tell me about your good points. And Amira say, okay, I'm a good communicator. I can relate well with people. And I can take any job. I will try my best to learn about my new job. And I will try to fulfill my responsibility. And I'm quite adaptable. I can work well with people, that kind of thing. That will, what we call it, make you a bit different than the rest. Your willingness to be part of the team. That's very, very important as well.
I see. So actually, the first thing is develop your character competencies, your self-awareness, your leadership skills, and how to connect with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, then you have to highlight and identify your strength and your passion, develop mindset of opportunity, and most important thing also is emotional agility. You have to
Yes.
learn to take criticism in the right way, which is to improve
Yes.
ourselves to be better.
Yes. Rightly said. Mm.
And I think one of the most important thing that Associate Prof. Dr. Wan tried to say is practice and practice,
Yes.
because practice makes perfect.
Yes, exactly. And we can always develop ourselves all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There is always room for improvement.
True. I like that. I
Mm.
like that word, Associate Prof. Room of
Yeah.
improvement. For me,
Yes.
there's no weakness, but actually room for us to improve ourselves.
Yes, I don't really like to say your strengths and weaknesses. I would like
Mm-mm.
to say your strengths and areas that you can develop further.
True. Mm-mm.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
All right. We have a few more minutes. So for my last question, Associate Prof. Dr. Wan, in short, what is the final piece of advice,
Mhm.
reminder, or maybe important tips that you would like to give to the audience?
Okay. First of all, stay true to yourself. Accept yourself for whom you are. Okay. Be respectful. Be responsible. Be accountable. Be a committed person, hardworking, and of course, your willingness to better yourselves. Upskills if necessary. And I believe that with the right mindset and attitude, opportunities just around the corner.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I see. Thank you, Associate Prof. Dr. Wan. So everyone, we have, like Associate Prof. Dr. Wan tell us, we have to always stay true to ourselves, remain hardworking, and always try to upskill ourselves if necessary.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Associate Prof. Dr. Liza binti Wan Mahadi for the sharing and interesting talk. Ladies and now we will move on to Q&A session. For any of you that want to ask any question, feel free to type it in the live chat. I will now open the floor for questions. We have one question here, Associate Prof. Dr. Wan from Sophia. How can I enhance my networking in the midst of this pandemic?
Okay. Thank you, Amira. Hi, Sophia. Assalamualaikum, Sophia. All right. Okay. How do you what is the
Enhance.
question again? Enhance your networking during this pandemic.
Mm-mm.
All right. Okay. Hi, Sophia. I think you have take the right step already by joining our science virtual platform today, and I think there are a few platforms that available now, online platforms such as LinkedIn and a few other platforms. Yeah. So one of the tips, Sophia, is to find the areas of your liking, or to find the area that you would like to work on, and then join those groups. For example, perhaps there are for somebody who like to for example write, then you can join the writing groups. That is one of your networking. Somebody like to do public speaking, join the public speaking group. Or somebody who are into design, art and design, or even into design. If it is in engineering, you design, you develop, you fabricate, join those groups. All right, it could be hobby, and it could be what we call it a career related group. That's how you enhance. The tip is to find the like-minded people, kindred spirits, I call it, like-minded people, and join that network. If you are into a professional area, join the professional network. I think for students, you are you can join your professional bodies, yeah, like for in engineering, you can join the many engineering institutes. That is part of the networking as well. And perhaps from there you can get some many opportunities. Or club as well. There are many clubs. That's why in the university as well you have many clubs, isn't it? But go beyond the university's club. Go national, and currently with the online platform, you can go even international.
True.
Not issues. Go. Okay. In a way, sell yourself in a good way. Yeah. Sell your abilities. Make yourself findable. Make yourself visible to others, and offer your niche area. Offer to help. Offer to participate as well. That will be a good way for you to start opening the door for the networking. Okay. Hope you are okay, Sophia, and all the best to you during this pandemic.
Thank you, Associate Prof. Dr.
Okay.
Wan. Okay, next question.
I can see a few questions here, yeah?
From Shafika, which one is vital, to pursue a career that I'm good at but not much interested in, or pursue a career that I'm passionate about but I'm not good at it?
Okay. Okay. Interesting question. You are passionate about and you are not good at it. Perhaps you didn't realize you are not good at it yet. You didn't realize that you are good at it yet. There's some, if you are passionate about it, normally it's automatic. We will put effort without we realize it. We will put an effort without realizing it. Perhaps if you are passionate about something, it's from Shafika. Was it Shafika?
Yes.
Now? Okay.
Yes.
Shafika, perhaps what you can do is, if that is your passion, develop your skills in your passion, because I always believe if you are working in the area or in the field that you are so passionate about, you are not even working, not even one day in your life, because you're so happy in it. So my suggestion would be Shafika should know better about herself, and like what we have discussed earlier, perhaps temporarily you can work in an area of which you didn't realize there are skills that you can still develop. But if you are passionate about a certain area, normally you will be very good at it. If you feel that you are still not there yet, develop further, because nothing, what we call it, nothing can develop good career is when you are working in the field that you are so passionate about, because you will give your heart, body and soul, mind, heart, body and soul to what you are doing. Okay, Shafika, I hope that answered the question, and all the best to you. All right, develop that skills, yeah, that you are passionate about, and I know you will do well, inshallah.
Good luck, Shafika. Thank you, Associate Prof. Dr. Wan. Okay, next question. From Santil Kumari, how can we keep our motivation going during this pandemic?
Okay. How do you keep your motivation going during this pandemic? I always say, number one, try to be self-motivated, but sometimes quite hard as well. Surround yourself with motivated people. Join a club, join a group where people are motivating each other. And most importantly, what is his name again? His or her name just now?
Her name, Santil Kumari.
Santil Kumari, okay. Find for yourself, how would you like to grow? How do you see yourself in the next few years? That would help, hopefully it will help to motivate you to reach to that stage or to that platform. What kind of Kumari that I want to see in the next few years? So hopefully that will help you to slowly, okay, what we call it, nurture and develop yourself into that person that you want to be. That itself is actually a good motivator, but sometimes we cannot do it alone. So surround yourself with well-meaning friends, with well-meaning family that can help you to reach out to your dream. It is very important as well, yeah, to be connected socially as well. being connected is very important. Currently, we have to do it. If it is not family member that we live together, now we have to do it via online because we cannot go and have a cup of tea with your friend anymore.
True.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
So, okay. Hopefully, you will reach out to your dream. Okay. And I know you can keep on motivating yourself, but surround yourself with the right people. Surround
Mm-mm.
yourself with people who can help you to motivate yourself.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Thank you, Associate Prof. Dr. Wan.
Okay.
Okay, we have next question from Muhammad Ishraq. By staying true, is it also logical to have a change of heart in selecting career choices towards the end of study?
Okay. Okay, it can be done actually because at the end of the study you chose a certain program or a certain course, all right? But at the end of your study you feel that you are passionate in a certain course, okay? But your study is actually what entails in your study. Apart from the designated skills, you are learning many other skills. For example, I'm taking engineering. What do you learn in engineering? Apart from a few core subjects, you also learn the analysis skills. You also learn presentation skills. You also learn critical thinking. You also learn on how to design and how time management, teamwork, the whole lot. So it is okay because nowadays as well, everything is so integrated. All right, everything is so integrated. Use your skills if that you are passionate about, because what we are learning as well apart from the designated skills is the development of mindset development, in order that any project given to me, I will make sure I will see it to completion. Okay, I will see to completion successfully, because what I have learned during my 3 to 4 years in the university is to be able to manage the project, to be able to design, to be able to put the right team together, to be able to study hard, to be able to upskills if necessary. So ideally you pursue what you have studied. However, ideally as well, you can always change your career. Shouldn't be any problem. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you, Associate Prof. Good luck to you, Muhammad Ishraq. Next question. From Sri Vidya, pandemic has been a hardship for everyone, especially for university students. How to balance between mental stress and education?
Okay, mental stress meaning sometimes you are feeling down, etc. Okay, first of all, get in touch with yourself. As we have said earlier, address your feelings. Oh, I am a little bit stressed now. I don't think I am coping for time being. Yeah, for example, address that. Accept it, address it, and uh, you have to take action. Talk to the right people. If you are in the university, talk to your lecturer, talk to your friend, and find a way. Sit down with your lecturer or sit down with your friend, create a plan. All right, devise a plan, find a way on how you can move on how you can progress in your whatever field you are doing. Don't keep it to yourself. uh, Meaning you have to balance it. I mean, you study one thing, but another thing is you also have to address your emotional well-being, which is, I think, to me is very important currently during this pandemic. Address your emotional well-being. If you feel upset, you feel down, you feel depressed, talk to somebody. Don't keep it to yourself. All right, say out loud, talk to somebody that you can trust, and figure out plan or figure out ways that you can progress. All right, figure out ways. I'm sure your lecturer, your academic advisor, your friend, and if necessary, I think UMHEP has many help as well, if I'm not mistaken. Reach out to somebody. Okay, I think you will do well, because I think most of us are feeling it, especially during the first few months. We are
Mm-mm.
so uncertain. We don't know what is going on, and then it's not a nice feeling to feel uncertain, is it? Isn't it?
True.
We
True.
are uncertain about so many things. However, life has to go on. We just have to do
Mm-mm.
it. Okay, and this is where adaptability is quite important.
Mm-mm.
Personally, last time we have face-to-face class, I spent
Mm-mm.
2 days Googling YouTube, learning on how to teach online. 2 days solid. Okay, for young people, perhaps that one can come fast to them. Yeah. Okay, they are, I call it online savvy. All right. Okay, but we have to learn to adapt to it. Mm. And to feel a bit comfortable doing
Mm-mm.
it, have to learn to be in a bit comfortable, learn to adapt to be a little bit comfortable with the new ways, and
Mm-mm.
hopefully it will not be too long.
Mm-mm.
Hmm. All right.
So
Okay,
always
so
find a way to our problem.
yes, and talk to somebody, please don't
Mm-mm.
keep it to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Vidya, reach for everyone in your family or your friends if you're feeling stressed out.
Yes, true. Don't keep it
Okay.
inside, no good
Mm-mm.
for you. Hmm.
Next question. We have many questions here.
Yes, that's what I've noticed. Yes.
Next question. From Siti Kaula. How would we readjust our schedule when something comes up? How do we make sure that our regular tasks don't fall behind on schedule?
How do we rearrange your schedule? Is that it?
Mm. Yes,
How do
when something comes up.
Okay, meaning that one requires flexibility
Mm-mm.
actually, and priority. You have to learn to city. You know what is your priority, what is important. Okay, so the rest, then you have to schedule your priority. The utmost important will always have to go first, especially the deadlines. Yeah, for example, if I have something assignment, the deadline is tomorrow, I have to do that one first, as
Mm-mm.
compared to assignment which is the deadline in 3 days time. So I have to learn to manage my priority. And in between as well, is you learn on how you are coping it emotionally as well. Don't feel
Mm-mm.
panic, don't feel, oh, I don't have time. All right, just do as necessary,
Mm-mm.
meaning you have to keep in touch with your emotion, your self-belief, to see that, hey, I know I have 4 assignments, or I have 4 work that I have to do, I can do it.
Mm-mm.
Schedule yourself well, and do not get distracted when you are doing it. Focus, develop on your focus. Do not get distracted when you are doing one assignment. You are thinking, I have 3 more assignments to finish and I don't have a clue about it, for example. Yeah, do not get distracted. So Siti, develop your focus. And some people can focus without distractions for 20 minutes. Some people can focus without distractions for 1 hour and more. So in between, if you feel that you get distracted, take a short break
Mm-mm.
and devise your own method. Some people, they like to put music on.
Mm-mm.
That is as a background, that means I am in my, what we call it, my zone. Nobody
Mm-mm.
can disturb me. I have the music of my choice. I have a laptop in front of me. Now for the next 2 hours, I'm going to finish this work.
Mm-mm.
Then I have to arrange it. I think importantly, Siti, develop your focus area. Do not get distracted. Another one is handle your emotion well.
Mm-mm.
Don't feel nervous. Don't feel panic. Don't feel, oh, I cannot finish it. No, you can do it. You have to do the self-talk. Yes, I can do it. Siti, you can do it. Siti, you are good. You can finish on time. Don't worry.
Thank you, Vidya, Prof. We have a few
Okay.
more minutes, so maybe we can pick 2 more questions.
Okay.
Okay, next question. From Navin Kumar. How do you think companies have changed their parameters in hiring graduates besides virtual interviewing?
Hmm. Um, One is virtual interviewing. Another one is, for example, you did your intern, yeah? If you did your intern at a certain company, that's what happened in the engineering field. I talked to the, for example, the managers or the people in the company. They say, oh, I like this student because while they are doing intern with us, the student possess very good or demonstrate very good qualities. We would like to hire them. So one of it is the normal platform will be apply online, online interview. That's one thing. Another thing, the one that we have discussed earlier, networking. Okay, through mentors, through recommendation from your lecturer perhaps. And for our students, obviously people who go for intern, there are many companies who hire them because they already know the student for 3 months and they like the student's attitude, they like the student work ethic, and they say, okay, I'm going to hire them if the student agree. That is one of the way as well, yeah. So apart from the normal online platform interview, a networking, a recommendation, or through your mentors, through your lecturers, or any other networking channel.
Thank you, Associate Prof. Because they are
Okay.
overwhelmed in asking questions, maybe we can add
Okay.
one more, two questions.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Okay, next question. From Norafika Zaid, some people say students during pandemic has low quality skills due to online learning. How do we cope with that perception?
Very sad. Very sad perception that is. Okay, I know our students has the ability even to self-study, you know.
True.
Don't sell yourself short. You are good. You know what I mean? That is where you have to believe that you are good. Some students, even I know, they can even study on their own. And they only get in touch with their lecturer just to clarify a few things. And they have a very good ideas and so on. And even if you feel that online learning is a hindrance, meaning that you feel that you cannot get like what you normally get in the class, get in touch with your lecturer. Get in touch. Normally, my student will WhatsApp me, will text me, will ask for the one-to-one, discussions on how to, for example, on how to create their own study timetable during the online, etc. Reach out. And sometimes we cannot control other people's perception, but we can always control our own self. Yes. So stay true to yourself. Have a good self-belief. When you are good, you are good. And I do believe our students and all the young people, you have a lot of potentials. So you have to address your own potentials and further develop your potential. Each one of you are brilliant in your own way. Don't let other people think otherwise.
Thank you, Associate Prof. Okay,
Thank you,
for our
Amira.
last question.
Yes.
Okay, our last question will be from Tivia Salvam. Many students did their final projects via online during their final semester. If we apply for jobs related to science field, how do companies select us based on our skills or qualities?
Okay, yes. For the final SEM, most of the project will be online and simulations. Okay, you cannot go and fabricate and do the measurements. I do know. However, even though it is an online, what we call it project, the project is just the same. It must have the goal, it must have the title, it must have the contents and the objective. So important here is what are the skills and qualities is you know what you are doing. All right, you know the content, you know what we call it your mindset, you know what you are proposing, and you know what you are developing, even in the what we call it the final year project presentation, and even in the postgraduate viva. Okay, what we are looking for is somebody who come up with the ideas, who can develop that ideas into either a product or a model that is useful for humankind. It is useful for a certain field, be it in research or be it in you are creating a product that can for the betterment of humankind. So the most important thing is either it is just an what we call it, even if it is online project or the project that you fabricate and develop. The key points will be the ideas behind the project, the project, what the project is all about, and how does your project benefit the society. Okay, if you can deliver that properly, actually there is no issues. It's just the same.
I see. Thank you so much. Right, I think we have come to the end of our talk, where we have shared plenty of knowledge regarding how to pursue your career during a pandemic. Again, I would like to thank Associate Professor Dr. Liza binti Wan Mahadi for the insightful explanations on the talk and for answering all of the questions. Well, in short, we may face a lot of challenges and obstacles in finding a career, especially in this time of pandemic. Along the way, we might feel unfair, hurt, and exhausted, but remember to keep trying and give your best, because at the end of the day, it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you have the courage and determination to not stop and never giving up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we end our event for today, let us all switch on our camera and give the brightest smile for photography session.
Okay, thank you, Amira, and thank you all for participating.
Thank you, Associate Prof, for your time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, bye.
For photography session.
Oh, not yet. Okay, okay.
Done. Thank you. As the saying goes by, to every beginning there is an ending, and now the event has come to its end. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for gracing our event with your presence. We truly appreciate it. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to apologize if we have done any mistakes throughout the event. With that, till we meet again, I am Amira Arianti. Assalamualaikum. Thank you and good day.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Associate Prof.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you all.